If you're a woman over 60 and still reaching for a glass of milk each morning, believing it gives you strength and comfort, just like it did in your younger years, I need to share something important with you. Because the truth is, not every milk is your friend after menopause. Some of them can quietly weaken your bones, inflame your joints, strain your heart, and even cloud your memory. I know that may sound shocking. For decades, milk was advertised as the ultimate symbol of health, the key to strong bones and lasting vitality. But what no one told you is that after 60, your body changes. The very milk you once trusted could now be slowing you down. I've seen it again and again in my 30 years as a gynecologist. One of my patients, a retired teacher in her late 60s, sat across from me with a puzzled look. She said, "Dr. Perriera, I don't understand. I've always had my cereal with milk, just like my mother did, but now I feel weaker, more tired, and my joints ache every morning." Another woman, a grandmother in her 70s, whispered with embarrassment, "I thought I was doing everything right, but I'm still losing energy and focus." Stories like these are why I want to talk with you today. Because what's hiding in your fridge may not just be an innocent habit. It could be one of the quietest thieves of your strength, energy, and clarity. So here's what we'll uncover together. The 4 types of milk women over 60 should avoid, and 4 powerful alternatives that can actually protect your heart, strengthen your bones, sharpen your memory, and soothe your hormones. These aren't trendy fads. They're science-backed practical choices that I've seen transform women's health in real life. Before we dive in, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Dr. Lisa Perriera. For over 3 decades, I've had the privilege of guiding women through the unique changes that come after menopause, helping them not only live longer, but live stronger, sharper, and with more joy. And today, I want to bring that same care to you. So stay with me, because the first milk we're about to expose might be the very one sitting in your refrigerator right now. But before we continue, if you find this kind of information valuable, please take a moment to subscribe and tap the notification bell. Let's start with the first milk that quietly works against you, whole milk. For many women, it isn't just a drink, it's a memory. I can still picture my own mother at the breakfast table pouring a tall glass and saying, "This will make you strong." And for a child, maybe it did. But for women over 60, the story changes. Whole milk carries more than 4 grams of saturated fat in just a single cup. That may not sound like much, but as our arteries stiffen with age and our metabolism slows, it adds up quickly. Saturated fat raises bad cholesterol, quietly thickening the walls of your arteries and putting extra strain on a heart that already needs more care after menopause. And those extra calories, almost 150 in a glass, don't just disappear. They find their way to your waistline, your joints, and even your blood sugar. One woman I care for, Linda, told me proudly, "Dr. Perriera, I don't touch junk food. Just cereal with milk every morning." She couldn't understand why her energy was dipping and her blood pressure was rising. The truth was sitting right in her glass. Now let's talk about another milk that may feel innocent, but is anything but sweetened, condensed milk. For some, it's tied to family traditions, holiday desserts, a creamy cup of coffee recipes passed down from mothers and grandmothers. That sweetness feels nostalgic, comforting. But what it does inside your body is far less comforting. Just a spoonful delivers a heavy load of sugar, and let's be honest, no one uses just 1 spoonful. That sticky drizzle spikes blood sugar like a roller coaster, forcing your pancreas to work overtime and paving the way for diabetes. And sugar doesn't only settle on your waist, it settles in your brain. High sugar diets accelerate memory loss and have even been linked to Alzheimer's disease. Some scientists now call it type 3 diabetes. If you've ever felt foggy, lost your train of thought, or struggled to recall a name, don't always blame age. Sometimes the problem is on your plate or in your cup. I once had a patient, Gloria, who loved her condensed milk in coffee. She thought it was a small indulgence. But once she gave it up, her blood sugar and her energy began to stabilize within weeks. And here's something else many women don't realize: sugar drives inflammation. Inflammation makes your joints ache, it steals your energy, and it disrupts hormones in ways that ripple through your entire body. So while condensed milk may remind you of warmth and family, it quietly robs you of strength and clarity. Now, if you thought those were troubling, wait until you hear about the next one. It wears a healthy label. It's plant-based. It's light. It sounds like the safest choice in the aisle. But beneath that calm, gentle image is a hidden danger that could quietly weaken your bones and strain your kidneys. So you never miss a tip designed just for women over 60. And let me know in the comments, have you ever wondered whether your daily glass of milk is helping or hurting you? If yes, type 1. If not, type 0. I read every comment, and your feedback shapes these conversations. All right, let's get started. The truth about milk after 60 that most women never hear from their doctors. The third milk I want to warn you about is rice milk. On the surface, it looks so innocent, plant-based, light, and often advertised as a gentle alternative for people with sensitive stomachs. I've even had patients proudly tell me, Dr. Perriera, I switched to rice milk because it sounded healthier. And at first glance, who could blame them? But here's the problem. Rice milk is almost entirely starch and water. A single cup has almost no protein, no healthy fats, and very few vitamins. For women after 60, that's a real issue. Your muscles naturally lose strength with age, a process called sarcopenia. Without enough protein, that loss accelerates, making you feel weaker, less steady, and more dependent on others. There's something else hiding here too. Rice absorbs arsenic from the soil, and when it's processed into milk, that arsenic doesn't just disappear. Over time, it can quietly strain your kidneys and liver. I've reviewed blood tests from women who drank rice milk daily and saw their kidney numbers creeping up, even though they felt fine. And then there's blood sugar. Rice milk has one of the highest glycemic indexes of any milk alternative. It spikes your blood sugar almost as fast as soda. If you're managing pre-diabetes or diabetes, it's like pouring fuel on the fire. Those crashes, you feel that mid-morning fatigue, the irritability, it may not be age. It may be your milk. And if that weren't enough, rice milk offers no fiber and no real support for digestion. Some women even find it worsens bloating and sluggishness. It's a drink that promises comfort but delivers very little. That's why I tell my patients, don't be fooled by a soft label. Health isn't in the packaging, it's in the biology. Now let's move to the last one, and it may surprise you the most. Flavored plant-based milks, vanilla almond, chocolate oat, hazelnut soy. They sound healthy, they're wrapped in words like fortified and heart smart, and they're tempting because they taste like dessert. But that's exactly the danger. Many of these flavored milks hide 10 to 15 grams of added sugar in just one cup that's the same as some sodas. And it doesn't matter if the label calls it cane juice agave or fruit syrup, your body processes it all the same. Those daily glasses push up your blood sugar, trigger inflammation, and leave you chasing more energy just to feel normal. Sugar isn't the only issue here. To make these milks thick and creamy, manufacturers often add gums, emulsifiers, and artificial flavors. They may make the texture smooth, but they also irritate your gut and disrupt the healthy bacteria that protect digestion and hormones. For women navigating the delicate balance of post-menopause, those additives add an extra layer of stress the body doesn't need. I'll never forget one patient, Maria, who switched from dairy to chocolate almond milk, thinking she was making the healthier choice. She was so proud of herself. But instead of feeling better, she felt more tired, her joints ached, and her blood sugar climbed. The problem wasn't that she chose plant-based, it was that she chose a dessert disguised as health food. So let's recap: whole milk sweetened, condensed milk, rice milk, and flavored plant-based milks. 4 everyday choices that seem innocent, even comforting, but are quietly undermining your heart, your bones, your hormones, and your energy. But here's the hopeful part. Not all milk is harmful. In fact, there are alternatives that can truly nourish your body, protect your mind, and even help restore your strength. And in just a moment, I'll reveal 4 of the most powerful milks women over 60 can add to their daily routine choices, backed by science and proven in real life. Now that we've uncovered the 4 milks that can quietly drain your energy and harm your health, let's flip the story. Because here's the truth. Not all milk is the enemy. Some can actually become your daily allies, strengthening your bones, calming your digestion, sharpening your memory, and balancing your hormones. Let me walk you through 4 of the best choices I recommend for women over 60. The first is fermented soy milk. I know the word soy can stir mixed feelings. Some women have heard it's dangerous, others think it's only for vegans. But here's what science shows us. Fermented soy is completely different. Unlike regular soy milk, the fermentation process makes the nutrients easier to absorb and adds natural probiotics that soothe digestion. More importantly, fermented soy contains plant compounds called isoflavones. These act like gentle helpers for your hormones, supporting bone density and even easing hot flashes. One of my patients, Carol, 67, started drinking a glass daily. Within a few weeks, she told me, Dr. Perriera, I feel steadier on my feet, and I'm finally sleeping through the night. That's the quiet but powerful change fermented soy can bring support for your muscles, your bones, and your peace of mind. Second, let's talk about unsweetened almond milk. At first glance, it seems so simple, almost too plain to be powerful. But sometimes the simplest foods are the most supportive. Almond milk is naturally low in saturated fat, cholesterol-free, and rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects your brain cells from age-related damage. I think often of Eleanor, a retired teacher in her 70s, who switched from sweetened oat milk to plain almond milk. Within weeks, her blood pressure improved. Her energy felt steadier, and she told me, I feel lighter, both in my body and in my mind. By choosing the unsweetened version, you also avoid hidden sugars, keeping your blood sugar stable and your energy even throughout the day. The third option is calcium-fortified oat milk. This one is especially important for women worried about osteoporosis or restless nights. After menopause, bone loss speeds up dramatically, and fractures can be life-changing. Fortified oat milk provides calcium and vitamin D, 2 essentials your body needs to keep bones strong and reduce fracture risk. But it also contains beta-glucan, a type of soluble fiber that lowers cholesterol and supports heart health. I recommended it to Diane, a 69-year-old patient who often struggled with insomnia and stiff joints in the morning. She began drinking a warm glass of oat milk before bed. A month later, she smiled and said, I wake up less achy, and I'm finally sleeping deeper. Sometimes nourishment is not just about nutrients, it's about comfort that restores. And finally, flax milk. This one is still a secret to many women, but it may be one of the most powerful. Flax milk is naturally rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation, the hidden culprit behind stiff joints, brain fog, and fatigue. It also contains lignans plant compounds that gently support hormonal balance after menopause. My patient, Helen, 71, was struggling with nagging knee pain and constant tiredness. We added flax milk to her morning routine. Just 3 weeks later, she told me, "I don't know what changed, but my knees don't bark at me the way they used to, and I feel clearer." That's the kind of quiet healing the right milk can offer. So to recap, fermented soy milk for hormones and digestion, unsweetened almond milk for heart and brain calcium, fortified oat milk for bones and sleep, and flax milk for inflammation and hormonal balance. These are not fads. They are tools, gentle, natural tools your body can use every day to age with strength and clarity. And if you found this helpful so far, take a moment to hit the like button. It tells me these conversations matter to you. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next video. Now stay with me, because I want to share 2 powerful stories of women just like you, stories that prove these changes aren't just theory, but real transformations. And I'll also give you an analogy that may change the way you look at your body forever. I want to share with you the story of Margaret, a 72-year-old grandmother who came to me feeling defeated. She told me, "Dr. Perriera, I'm slowing down. My knees ache, my memory slips, and I just don't feel like myself anymore." When we looked closely, I saw she was relying on rice milk every day, believing it was the gentle choice. But it was giving her almost no nutrition and quietly harming her kidneys. Together, we made one small change. She swapped her rice milk for flax milk. 6 weeks later, she returned with tears in her eyes. "I feel lighter," she said. "I'm walking without pain in the morning, and I can keep up with my granddaughter again." It wasn't a miracle. It was her body responding gratefully to the right kind of nourishment. Another woman, Joan, 68, had a different struggle. She was losing sleep and waking up stiff every morning. She had grown up believing a warm glass of whole milk before bed was the key to rest, so she clung to that habit for decades. When I gently suggested trying calcium-fortified oat milk instead, she was skeptical. But within a month, she came back with a smile. "I'm finally sleeping through the night, and when I wake up, my joints aren't screaming at me." One quiet switch brought her both rest and relief. You see, your body is like a garden. In your 20s and 30s, that garden flourishes almost effortlessly. The soil is rich, the flowers bloom, and even if you forget to water it some days, it still thrives. But after 60, the soil becomes more delicate. Weeds, inflammation, bone loss, hormone imbalance start to creep in. If you keep pouring the wrong water, those weeds take over. But when you feed the garden with the right nutrients, the right water, in the form of supportive foods and drinks, it begins to blossom again. The flowers may be different, but they can be just as beautiful, full of life and colour. That's why I tell my patients, aging is not about decline. It's about learning how to tend your garden differently. The choices you make each morning, the glass you pour the foods you choose, are the sunlight and rain for that garden. With care, it doesn't wither. It blooms. So if Margaret can regain her strength and Joan can restore her sleep, then so can you. Because this stage of life isn't about giving up. It's about giving yourself the right tools to thrive. And in just a moment, I'll pull everything together for you. I'll recap the key lessons and share one final message I believe every woman over 60 deserves to hear. So let's take a moment to bring everything together. Today you've learned that not every milk is your friend after 60. Whole milk, sweetened, condensed milk, rice milk, and flavored plant-based milks may seem harmless, even comforting, but they can quietly damage your heart, your joints, your blood sugar, and even your memory. But here's the hopeful part. You don't need to give up milk altogether. In fact, by making the right swaps, You can give your body powerful support every single day. Fermented soy milk can balance your hormones and protect your bones. Unsweetened almond milk can defend your heart and sharpen your mind. Calcium-fortified oat milk can strengthen your skeleton and soothe your sleep. And flax milk can calm inflammation, ease your joints, and bring back clarity. These aren't complicated changes. They're small, practical steps you can take right now. Swap out one glass of the wrong milk for one of the right ones. Do it for a week. Then notice how you feel. More energy, less stiffness, sharper focus. Your body will tell you you just need to listen. And remember, this growing older does not mean growing weaker. It means growing wiser. Every choice you make is a message to your body that says, I still care for you. I'm still investing in my future. And those small daily choices add up to years of vitality, independence, and joy. So here's my challenge for you tomorrow morning. When you reach into your fridge, ask yourself, is this glass serving the woman I am today, or just the habits of the past? If this video inspired you, please take a moment right now to like it. It lets me know this message mattered. Subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss the next tip designed especially for women over 60. And share this with a friend, a sister, or another woman you care about. Sometimes one simple conversation can change a life. Finally, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Just type, I'm making the switch, if you're ready to choose one better milk starting today. Because your story matters not just to me, but to every woman in this community who is walking this journey alongside you. You're not too old to change. In fact, you're just the right age to finally choose what truly helps you flourish. And that begins with what you pour into your glass each morning. And before we close, let me remind you, this video is for educational purposes only. It does not replace medical advice. Every woman's body is unique. If you are experiencing pain, significant changes, or have personal concerns, please consult with your healthcare provider. Your well-being deserves personalized care.